12.5 hours until MRI. The fasting has begun as I do not want to lose my bowels on the table. Honestly, all pretensions to art and philosophizing placed to the side, I do not know how to explain where I am internally anymore. My limits are so very close to the skin. All the sound and noise of a world full of people made me a little angry earlier as I was struggling to get takeout. A mask, sunglasses, my favorite hat, and the comfortable dress that got washed with the new black pants. I hugged my bubbly beverage to my chest and prayed. My discontent stayed internal. Please, please do not let me do any harm from pain. Please do not let my urgent need to escape overload seem like rage. Please let me get home before I cry, piss, shit, or vomit. Let me bear the pain as calmly as I can. Let me be grateful and please, please, if there is a way, let me stay anchored in this fierce self-love, able to hold back my fury at being unable to get help from those who cannot, even if they want to. Right now, such things are easy. This far into an artless poem, and I finally have an answer for Tina about why there is no subtext in my work. In matters of naked survival, directness is best. I have been here alone with screens and my invisibility as I realize part of my failure at reaching people with this art has been because all of those words that get suppressed by social media are the subjects with which I weave story and art. For all this sunphobic skin to an algorithm based on words, I discuss so many things that polite society would ignore. Well, I am someone that gets ignored. The MRI is tomorrow, and just this week, I had both the neurologist and ear, nose, throat tell me unequivocally that all my test results have been normal, and from the ENT office, you need to stop talking about your mastoid. You are fine. There is no tumor issue. Stop saying it. Just my right arm has multiple tumors. My abdomen has so many. It took me a while to realize that this week's surprised excruciating pain in my lower right ribs is the sudden absence of one rather than a new one. My skull's changing shape. A dent from an accident is now a protrusion, and today I realized that I am passing mashed potato without any visual changes. Please do not ask for more details. The betrayal of that pasty DNA, refusing potato. As it is, I am brought low by the sight of undigested antidepressants starting their voyage to cheer my septic tank almost daily. After laughing about the madness of undigested mashed potato, it occurred to me that maybe I needed to give myself some grace for being so exhausted and feeling so demoralized by events personal and national. I have learned to love life when when I am alone, my limbs sore, my skull screaming, and my heart aching with longing for people who do not want my company. What a glorious compensation for all that I've lost. Only from this bed where I am flush with flow, words pouring out of me without fear, for I am not heard. Let me tell you how love feels within this skin when I cannot hear for the screaming tinnitus and I can feel the beauty as well as the yearning of this body. Love acknowledges how deep and profound this body has been hurt. From too young, violence and cruelty, and always being reminded that the whims of others were stronger than my protests formed my daily experience. Those few who could see me as a human being were almost instantly beloved, even if we never spoke again. Oh, love admitted that the cruelest person to this body by a wide margin has been me. After all, even today, I am trying to plan ahead. How will I get through it when no one helps me again? This body is desperately ill, but no one believes me, or they do, and I'm not worth the effort. That reality coexists uncomfortably with this moment. My little triumphant, I'm sorry, my little triumvirate of screens beside the bed, my head gently cradled to minimize vertigo, and this week I saw a video about people who have a hard time meditating with breath, and I did too for years, but this loving slows me down. Peace and this absolutely ridiculous desire to reach out from my solitude, even though I am not favored by human or algorithm, are able to wrap their arms around my raw torso and hug me gently. I am taking solace from the proof that I have not surrendered so much that I stopped writing. I know it's circular. I love that I am loving relentlessly every chance I get, precisely because in these moments of stillness, I feel less alone than at any point in my life. My universe unfolds when I grow quiet enough to let it. After nearly 50 years of chasing bliss, now I realize it is here, and if anything, love makes me cry about all the abuse and needless suffering all over again. I accepted that no one could love me. Whatever crumbs of affection people would offer, I consumed with such speed and gratitude, I am sure it could be unsettling. Solitude and safety have become the same thing, but I need to be in control of the locks on my door. Love feels like the gentle pressure of my hand rubbing the small of my back, like using soft lilac light as if it's ink, like the gratitude I feel for my courage when I let people into my life. Love does not waste love's time on assholes, particularly the ones living rent free in the memory. At the trigger, I pick up the pen. After literally decades of therapy and spiritual questing and writing everything down, I am flush with flow. These writings, all the art, one of the signs that my need to love was unconquerable, even if my need to be loved could be suppressed, is that even now, when I know such an array of impediments exist between my words and anyone hearing them, much less caring, are minute. I'm still here on this tablet, already enfeebled by my demands, letting a lilac line fight off the creeping darkness of the lava in my head. Survival really has no time for subtext tonight either, Tina. We're lucky that some sentences have subjects and verbs. That's the most poetical illusion we'll get. Love holds all this suffering and the melodramatic emoting that leaks out when someone asks how I am, with compassion and inappropriate humor. Love forgives that I am alone and all the reasons I want to stay that way as much as possible without undue suffering. Love feels like surrender to oncoming sleep and dream. Maybe tonight I will learn how to forgive my subconscious for dreaming of lovers and those I've lost.